It is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both. Your mind is the battlefield you cannot afford to lose. Anger rises quietly at first. A subtle drumbeat, envy creeps like a shadow, and fear grips the chest like an invisible hand. These are your enemies, waiting for the slightest weakness to claim your throne. Every conversation, every moment of hesitation is a test. Emotions are not harmless. When left unchecked, they infiltrate strategy, erode clarity, and weaken influence. Each impulse is a spy in your inner court, reporting vulnerabilities to anyone who recognizes hesitation. One unguarded outburst can dissolve alliances, damage reputation, and surrender opportunities before they even appear. The colleague who challenges your idea, the partner who questions your plan, these are not threats because of their words, but because of the reaction they provoke. Respond with measured calm. Speak with authority, not volume. Show that your throne is not shaken by opinion, but guided by discernment. Your mind is a kingdom. If your inner garrison falters, external forces will dictate your fate. Every unchecked emotion is a breach in the walls. Observe your impulses, map their origin, and neutralize them before they shape your actions. The cost of inaction is subtle yet total. Resentment festers, decisions become reactionary, and influence evaporates without notice. Harness anger as fuel for deliberate action rather than letting it ignite chaos. Transform fear into focus, envy into strategy, frustration into precision. When a disagreement arises, let calm assessment guide the response. A micro example: a team member openly contradicts your plan in a meeting, weak snapping or defending aggressively. Strong, nod, pause, respond with reasoned clarity that reinforces authority without intimidation. Command your mind as you would a battalion. Every thought, every feeling, either strengthens your position or hands power to unseen adversaries. The invisible enemy respects strength, not excuses. Vigilance is the shield, discipline the sword. Secure your internal kingdom before the battlefield extends outward. The throne of influence is not given, it is seized through self-mastery. Observe, act deliberately, control relentlessly, and your presence becomes an unspoken declaration. Let no surge of emotion dictate your strategy. The cost of surrender is domination. The reward of mastery is sovereignty. Master your mind or be mastered. Your mind is the sovereign castle you command, and every thought is a soldier awaiting orders. Emotions are rebels, quiet and persistent, probing for weakness in the walls of your consciousness. Guard the gates of your attention. What you entertain, you empower. Each unchecked feeling becomes a saboteur inside your stronghold, whispering impulses that undermine clarity and strategy. Observation is your first line of defense. Monitor every surge of anger, every pang of envy, every twinge of fear. Let no emotional insurgent dictate your actions. Structure your thoughts with discipline as a general organizes battalions, positioning each idea to respond with precision rather than panic. When you adopt a protocol of deliberate reflection, decisions become measured maneuvers rather than chaotic reactions. Life's battlefield rewards presence. Hesitation and disorder invite exploitation. Absolute authority over your inner counsel translates directly into unshakable presence outwardly. Confidence flows from the crown of clarity you wear inside. The colleague who challenges your strategy in a meeting tests not just your plan but your control. Weak, snapping or defensive retorts. Strong, pause, assess, respond with composed reasoning that strengthens authority without intimidation. Each mental decision reinforces your throne or exposes a breach. Train your mind to prioritize, filter, and neutralize emotional interference. Strategic patience strengthens defenses, while impulsive surrender allows the enemy to advance. Recognize that every fleeting feeling is a messenger, not a ruler. Accept observation without capitulation. Command your attention as a general commands troops, never allowing minor rebellions to become full-scale revolts. Discipline creates continuity between thought and action. Clarity transforms intention into outcome. Do not let emotional chaos dictate your destiny. Your internal fortress must be maintained daily, inspecting, reinforcing and refining the boundaries that protect your sovereignty. Master the sentinel of your thoughts, enforce the royal protocol of reflection, and wear the crown of clarity with unwavering authority. Control your mind, or your mind controls you. Your day begins as a battlefield, the first light revealing the terrain of your mind. The moments immediately after waking are your front lines, where victory or defeat is silently decided. Every dawn is an opportunity to train your mental troops. Rituals are your drills. Exercise, reflection, or reading sharpen awareness and discipline, preparing you to meet chaos with strategy instead of panic. The body and mind respond to consistent signals. Repetition enforces obedience and readiness. Scout the mind before the world invades. Early reflection exposes hidden fears, unexamined anxieties, and simmering resentments that could erupt into full-scale disruptions if left unchecked. Journaling, meditation, or quiet contemplation allows you to identify weaknesses before adversaries exploit them. These are the reconnaissance missions that prevent surprise attacks on your calm. Preemptive strikes secure the day before it begins. Anticipate emotional triggers, a challenging email, a stressful meeting, or the impatient tone of a colleague. Map your likely reactions and establish deliberate responses that maintain authority and composure. Weak, reacting with frustration. Strong, acknowledging the trigger, executing a measured action, and redirecting energy toward your objectives. Every decision made early sets the tempo of your internal war. Hesitation seeds ground to disorder. Prepare your mind as a commander inspects the battlefield, ensuring all units are positioned, all contingencies planned. Ritual, reflection, and anticipation transform the morning from a chaotic surge into a controlled advance. Conquer the first hours, and the rest of the day bows to your strategy. Win the morning, dominate the mind. Stillness is your deadliest weapon. Chaos cannot strike what does not move. In the heat of conflict, the mind that pauses first seizes control. The calm eye sees the battlefield clearly while others stumble, blinded by impulse. A measured breath before responding is more lethal than 1,000 hasty reactions. Silence disarms, forcing adversaries to reveal themselves. Those who lash out in anger expose weakness. Their volatility becomes your intelligence, their impatience a roadmap to victory. Invisible strength lies in restraint. When you remain composed, you radiate authority without proclamation. Every pause communicates mastery. Every unspoken word is a blade in your arsenal. Precision strikes require preparation. Observe the situation, weigh consequences, and act deliberately. A single calculated response dismantles conflict faster than a flurry of reactive gestures. Weak rushing to correct or defend. Strong, holding composure, analyzing intent, and delivering one decisive statement that shifts power subtly but irreversibly. Even in small disagreements, the one who maintains calm dictates the resolution. Your stillness forces others into overextension, making their weaknesses obvious. Use silence as reconnaissance, watching for emotional tremors in those around you, and strike with clarity when necessary. Pause before speech, control tone, regulate gestures. Every element of restraint reinforces dominance. Let the world rush. Let others scatter in chaos. You stand as the immovable center, the strategist whose mind is a fortress. Do not fill space with noise or reaction. Let intent drive every action. Master the art of the calm strike, where thought precedes motion and presence commands respect. Build power in your quietude, For the mind unshaken is the ultimate predator on life's battlefield. Stillness is supremacy. Weakness left unchecked is treachery in your own court. Every impulse that has betrayed you is a soldier in revolt. Every grudge is a hidden dagger. Identify them with ruthless clarity. Emotional flaws are not negotiable. They are enemies in disguise. Patterns of impulsive reaction repeat until they are confronted and removed. Trace the moments when anger, fear, or desire hijacked your judgment and excise them. Rooting out impulses is not an act of self-punishment. It is preparation for sovereignty over your mind. Envy and resentment are silent traitors, weakening strategy from within. Harboring them ensures distraction and hesitation when decisive action is required. Observe every lingering grievance as a sign of disloyalty to your own command. Neutralize these forces with acknowledgement, reflection, and deliberate mental pruning. Precision is key. Each decision, each emotional adjustment must serve the greater strategy of clarity and dominance. Weak, allowing frustration to linger. Strong, confronting every simmering emotion and resolving it before it can interfere with action. In negotiation or conflict, remain composed. Let calm reasoning expose the irrationality in others' reactions. Your purity of command manifests when every thought aligns with purpose and every action advances strategy. Reject the comfort of old grudges. They are anchors on the battlefield of your mind. Silence the voices that encourage hesitation or revenge. Focus on the present, control what is within reach, and remove distractions that weaken resolve. Discipline your emotional army. Demote or dismiss the soldiers who refuse obedience. Observe triggers, dismantle recurring patterns, and act with ruthless efficiency. Emotional clarity is not coldness, it is sovereignty over yourself. Every excised impulse strengthens your position. Every neutralized grudge secures your autonomy. The throne of your mind is unassailable only when internal betrayal is eliminated. Maintain vigilance, apply self-command, and ensure that each reaction is deliberate and strategic. The predator does not hesitate. It removes weakness without remorse. Excuse weakness, command or. Command is a mask worn before the battlefield is reached. The eyes betray less than the body if trained with intent. Your stance, your pace, the tone you carry, each signals mastery before a word is spoken. Visual armor is not decoration. It is the shield that protects your mind from exploitation. Straighten your posture, steady your hands, modulate your voice. Weak, slouching, hurried gestures, tremors, strong, deliberate posture, controlled motions, measured cadence. Every movement is a statement of sovereignty, every pause a perimeter no one dares breach. Strategic deception conceals inner turmoil. It is the unseen moat around your throne. Storms may churn inside, but the surface remains unshaken. Let your presence dictate the tempo. Others will hesitate, second guess, and reveal their intentions first. Influence flows through perception as much as through command. The mind of the observer is a battlefield won by the aura of control. In a disagreement, project calm decisiveness. When a colleague challenges a proposal, respond with measured tone and neutral body language, forcing them to adjust their approach or concede insight. Masking emotion is not deceit, it is disciplined authority. Every gesture, every word and every silence must reinforce your dominance. Internal control and external projection must align. Dissonance signals vulnerability. Walk into every room as if the air itself acknowledges your presence. Allow no tremor of fear, doubt or anger to leak. The predator that reveals nothing is the predator that rules unchallenged. Harness your composure, command the perception, and let your presence shape outcomes before conflict begins. Power begins with the mind. The mind is a battlefield, and every thought is a soldier waiting for orders. You must be the commander and the executioner simultaneously. Thought surveillance is your reconnaissance. Monitor the rise of anger, fear, and doubt as if they are spies in your ranks. Observe the patterns that have undermined your decisions in the past. Track the impulses that derail focus and initiative. Weak, reacting impulsively, letting fear dictate your moves. Strong, noticing tension, labeling it and halting its progression. Preemptive neutralization is the strike that prevents chaos before it manifests. Do not wait for emotions to charge the field. Intercept them at the gates. When a surge of resentment appears, halt it with deliberate reflection before it reaches speech or action. Replace it with clarity and measured intention. Shadow mastery requires understanding that self-discipline is both hunter and prey. You must hunt your own destructive patterns while remaining vigilant against lapses. Every thought is a potential attack or an ally. Recognize the value of internal silence as a weapon. Engage micro-decisions with precision. When a coworker challenges a plan aggressively, respond calmly, addressing facts without letting frustration leak. The predator within must remain unseen, striking only when necessary to maintain dominance over your inner court. Train your mind as you would an elite army, each neuron aligned to strategy, every emotion assessed, every impulse confronted. The battlefield of the self is continuous. Vigilance is not optional. Let every day begin with a sweep of your mental terrain. Remove the weak, the reactive, the impulsive, and consolidate strength in clarity and purpose. Let discipline be your armor, foresight your blade, and quietly observe your shield. Dominate the internal chaos before it touches the external world. Strike first, strike silently, strike decisively. Conquer within to command without. Emotions are the fire within, and mastery begins with direction, not suppression. Like a predator, you must harness this energy with precision. Anger, ambition, and desire are blades, sharp, dangerous, and powerful when wielded consciously. Emotion as energy requires recognition first. Acknowledge the surge of impatience, the spark of frustration, the thrill of competition. These forces are neither enemies nor allies by themselves. They become tools in your hands, instruments that sharpen focus and decision-making. Weak, letting frustration scatter attention and erode composure. Strong, channeling it into calculated, purposeful action. Selective hunger is the discipline that separates the controlled from the chaotic. Feed only the emotions that advance your objectives. Starve those that distract, diminish, or sabotage your path. Do not indulge resentment, self-pity, or impulsive desire. Let them wither while nurturing determination, courage, and calculated ambition. Each choice to nurture or deny is a tactical maneuver on the battlefield of your mind. Predator advantage emerges from this balance of restraint and explosive action. Like a wolf, patience preserves strength, observation guides timing, and sudden decisive strikes secure dominance. Do not rush. Study your terrain, sense opportunity, and act with controlled ferocity. Your external environment responds not only to your deeds, but to the quiet intensity of your presence. In negotiation or confrontation, channel tension into authority rather than outburst. When a colleague challenges a proposal aggressively, maintain composure, project confidence, and allow strategic silence to amplify influence. This is the power of contained energy. It signals awareness and readiness without exposing vulnerability. Every surge of emotion can fuel strategy if you feed it wisely. Map the currents within, ignite only those that propel your objectives, and extinguish the rest. Let calculated desire guide ambition, and restrained passion dictate initiative. Your internal fire becomes a weapon, a source of respect, a signal that you are untouchable, not because you lack feeling, but because you command it. Embrace the wolf within, fuel it consciously, strike with intention, and your path becomes unstoppable. Feed the fire, but never burn yourself. Life unfolds like a chessboard, each day a square, each decision a move that defines your survival. Emotional control is your queen, versatile, decisive, commanding respect while protecting vulnerable pawns. Anticipate opponents before they strike. Watch for patterns of manipulation, subtle provocations, and hidden traps. Predict reactions, not merely actions. Weak, responding with immediate outrage. Strong, calculating the impact of every reply, conserving energy for the decisive moment. Calculated sacrifice is essential. Forego small victories that promise temporary satisfaction but expose you to larger risks. Let minor frustrations slip. Focus on the positions that lead to dominance, not transient wins. Each concession is strategic, a pawn exchanged for a queen's eventual triumph. The checkmate mindset governs the endgame. Patience is armor, controlled aggression is the sword. Do not allow impulsive emotions to dictate action. The final victory is reserved for those who master tempo, timing, and tactical foresight. When a colleague publicly challenges your proposal, respond with composed authority, reframing the conversation to highlight the broader goal rather than individual ego. Your restraint demonstrates leadership. Your strategic vision guides outcome. Recognize that each interaction, each decision, is a move on the board. Align actions with long-term objectives, and ignore distractions that disrupt clarity. Observe, calculate, and advance deliberately. Emotional volatility is a weakness. Precision in thought and composure in expression create a psychological advantage over competitors. Train your mind to anticipate, to yield when prudent, to strike when opportunity peaks. Life rewards foresight, punishes impulsivity, and elevates those who balance patience with decisive action. Master this balance, and your influence extends beyond immediate conflicts. Every plan executed with controlled emotion sharpens your authority. Every sacrifice made consciously strengthens your position. Every move calculated ensures survival and respect. The chessboard of life responds to strategy, not chaos, and victory is reserved for those who see the board in its entirety, who harness emotion as an instrument of power, and who act with precision, timing, and relentless focus. Control the board or be controlled. Discipline is forged, not granted. Every day you choose to strengthen your mind is a battle won before the war begins. Treat your emotional resilience as a fortress under constant siege. Ritualized rehearsal conditions your responses before chaos arrives. Simulate confrontation, pressure, and provocation. Practice delivering composed answers, controlling tension, and maintaining strategic clarity. Each repetition builds neural pathways that anticipate stress rather than react impulsively. Muscle of mind functions like muscle of body. Repetition strengthens control, endurance, and precision. Train daily. Push past comfort and your capacity for measured response expands. When frustration rises in a meeting, recall rehearsed composure. Respond deliberately, demonstrating authority without aggression. Immutable routine transforms discipline into armor. Morning reflections, journaling, visualization, or controlled breathing become shields against unpredictability. These rituals embed calm as instinct, preventing emotion from dictating action. Weak, sporadic effort, strong, relentless daily practice that hardens reflexes and sharpens judgment. Observe how controlled repetition alters perception. Opponents hesitate when your calm persists, your authority reinforced by consistency. Each ritual is a soldier ready for battle, each repeated exercise a tower erected against internal chaos. Over time, mental fortitude becomes second nature. Even unforeseen disruption meets unyielding poise. Your mind, trained as a strategic weapon, navigates adversity with calculated patience and decisive action. Reject excuses for inconsistency. Embrace the grind that sculpts resilience. Let daily rituals dictate rhythm and not circumstance. Recognize that strength is built incrementally. Ignore the urge for instant gratification. Command your mornings, your focus, your reactions. When a junior team member challenges your plan abruptly, apply rehearsed restraint. Acknowledge their input, redirect attention to strategic objectives, and maintain composed guidance. Your steadiness converts tension into trust, confusion into clarity. The battlefield of life favors preparation, foresight, and the habitual mastery of self. Each ritual performed is a layer of armor, each repetition a weapon honed. Persist beyond discomfort, and your mental fortitude eclipses fleeting emotion. Harness these practices relentlessly until they are inseparable from your daily existence. Ritual builds an empire within. Habit forms a throne. Control is inherited through action, not hope. Forge your mind and nothing controls you. Calm command is the armor. No blade can pierce. Stand as the predator that senses the forest before stepping into it. Fearless presence begins within. Your steadiness communicates dominance before a word is spoken. Walk into tension with measured breath and unwavering posture. Each movement, each pause, radiates control. Observe boardrooms, streets, or digital arenas. Those who react are prey. Those who respond strategically are predators. Unseen authority stems from mastery of self. Internal balance bends outcomes without confrontation. Sparingly, act decisively, and let composure shape perception. When others attempt to provoke, let silence and poise absorb their attempts, redirecting the energy toward clarity and purpose. Weak, reactive speech. Strong, deliberate, composed articulation that commands attention. The final predator form is achieved when emotion no longer dictates action. You anticipate threats without fear, deflect manipulation without struggle, and maneuver through chaos with surgical precision. Each encounter tests your internal law. Each response enforces your sovereignty. Handle disagreements calmly. When a team member challenges your directive publicly, acknowledge the concern, then assert strategy through composed reasoning, converting tension into respect. Authority does not demand compliance, it commands it through example. Your mind, disciplined by ritual, now operates as a fortress, your presence a deterrent. Influence flows not from force, but from the invisible gravity of certainty. Each step, each gesture, confirms untouchable status. Immune to emotional contagion, you dictate tempo, not reaction. Control your gaze, your words, your breath. Master these and the external world aligns with internal order. The predator does not need to strike immediately. Presence alone ensures dominance. Others may scheme, yet their motions meet calm calculation. You navigate life's battlefield with strategic patience and unwavering resolve, making manipulation a futile effort. Stand unwavering, act deliberately, radiate authority, and the world yields without coercion. Nothing penetrates armor forged from discipline, foresight, and unshakable equanimity. Each day reinforces the throne within. Each challenge confirms your imperviousness. Emotions obey you. The world bends. Every ruler's strength begins within. The mind that governs itself commands the world. You have crossed the threshold where discipline meets instinct, and mastery is no longer a practice but a second nature. Each ritual, each moment of restraint, each decision tempered by strategic foresight converges into a unified force that radiates authority without declaration. Imagine life as a battlefield. Chaos swirls around, unpredictability lurks in every corner, yet you move like a predator whose senses map terrain, timing, and opportunity before others perceive it. Your presence alone regulates tension, diffuses conflict, and shapes perception. Fearless, unshakable, you occupy your mental throne, impervious to manipulation, immune to provocation. Synthesis of mastery is not abstract. It is tangible in every breath, every pause, every deliberate step. Let each action reflect internal harmony. Let your gaze communicate readiness without aggression. Let speech be concise, purposeful, unassailable, weak, reacting to chaos, strong, guiding it without visible force. When disagreements arise, a colleague questions your plan publicly, acknowledge the concern with measured composure, then demonstrate strategy through calm reasoning, transforming challenge into respect and reinforcing your unseen authority. Your mind operates like a fortress, every wall erected through years of rehearsal and reflection, every battlement strengthened by discipline, every watchtower offering clarity. Control extends beyond immediate circumstances. It manifests in timing, anticipation, and calculated presence. Unseen authority is the apex of influence. Outcomes bend to your steadiness before intervention is required. As you navigate social, professional, and internal terrains, emotions no longer dictate movement. They are tools wielded with precision, not tyrants demanding obedience. Battlefield transcendence emerges from this synthesis. Like a predator commanding its domain, you occupy space without challenge, manipulate momentum through perception, and inspire caution through mere existence. Every decision, every pause, every interaction consolidates your sovereignty. Absolute sovereignty is achieved when discipline becomes instinct, when calm is reflexive, when presence alone deters opposition. Others may scheme, chatter, or provoke, but their motions meet impervious poise. You anticipate disruption, align your response with calculated intent, and maintain equilibrium where others falter. Tactical clarity ensures energy is conserved for decisive action, not wasted on emotional turbulence. Presence, restraint, perception, and strategic insight merge to form a unified mechanism of mastery. The throne of your mind is now secured, unassailable, commanding, instinctive. Each day reinforces this dominion. Each challenge confirms your authority. Stand unwavering, act deliberately, move with strategic inevitability, and the world bends silently to your steadiness. The mind rules, chaos obeys. Every battlefield begins in the mind, and the fiercest wars are fought within. When emotions govern you, decisions falter, alliances crumble, and respect dissolves. Careers derail not from lack of skill, but from unchecked reactions that reveal instability. Relationships fracture under the weight of impulsive words and uncontrolled temper. Self-respect erodes each time anger, fear, or envy dictates your actions. Recognize that mastery over your inner landscape is not a luxury. It is survival. Like a seasoned general surveying a battlefield, anticipate your triggers, assess the terrain of conversation, and deploy restraint as your first line of defense. Fearlessness is born from this clarity. When your reactions are measured, your presence alone commands authority. Influence flows not through intimidation but through consistency, calm, and strategic timing. Move deliberately, pause before responding, and allow perception to align with purpose. Weak, reacting to insults. Strong, redirecting energy into deliberate action. A colleague challenges your judgment publicly. You acknowledge the point, respond with composed reasoning, and subtly steer the discussion back to objectives, turning tension into respect. Clarity grants speed, fearlessness grants space. Each choice, each controlled breath, is a maneuver on the chessboard of life. Let emotion serve as a tool, not a tyrant. Let instinct be guided by intellect, not impulse. The inheritance of mastery is subtle yet formidable. Respect, autonomy, and freedom to act without internal interference. Cultivate awareness of every feeling, every urge, and transform it into actionable insight. Discipline becomes reflexive, presence becomes magnetic, and authority becomes effortless. Do not yield to provocation, do not surrender to panic, and do not mistake reaction for strategy. Hold the throne within your mind. Every decision fortifies it, every calm response strengthens it, and every controlled moment asserts your sovereignty. Mastery is earned in the quiet, repeated victories over self, unseen by the world, yet undeniable in effect. Stand unshaken, act with precision, and let influence radiate from composed authority. Master your mind, or be mastered. Your throne awaits within.